this false allegation. Not only does he have to deal with flirtations, but he also has to face the challenge of being falsely accused. A false case is raised against him, and Joseph is faced with the struggle, trying to defend himself against someone that has lied on him. One would think he would be rewarded for withstanding her temptation, but instead, the test continued. It's a great test of character to be falsely accused of something and endure the public shame of something you know you didn't do. And worse yet, he's punished for it. He receives a prison sentence for something he did not do. He's the victim of an unjust justice system. Unfortunately, in our country, far too many people of color know this experience. Being falsely accused is an incredibly challenging test. When someone seeks to damage your name and reputation, or attempts to hurt you, your family, your church, your business, something you love, it can be incredibly painful. There may be times in life where you will be falsely accused, and you will have to sit through it until your name is cleared, but the residue sometimes remains. In some seasons, you will have to outlive the rumor. Rumors and gossip will happen around your name. You will have to face the challenge of living through this, through the scrutiny, through the whispers, and through the attacks. You can only imagine the variety of emotions that Joseph must go through as he deals with the accusation. There he sits in prison. Something unusual happens. The Lord was with him. He showed him kindness and granted him favor in the eyes of the prison warden. So the warden put Joseph in charge of all those held in the prison. He was made responsible for all that was done there. The warden paid no attention to anything under Joseph's care, but the Lord was with Joseph and gave him success in whatever he did. Again, God's purpose is shining through in the life of Joseph. He is placed in charge again. He finds himself in leadership again. Not that he applied for it or sought it out, but because the Lord was with him. It was given to him. The warden pays no attention to what under Joseph's care. Just like Potiphar's house, now in prison, the same sequence of events is happening because the Lord was with Joseph. Joseph perseveres despite his circumstances and ends up in charge. The original dream of Joseph leading is slowly showing up in smaller ways. Joseph is not in the best circumstances, but despite his circumstances, his gifts, talents, and experiences continue to shine, and he is elevated. God gave him success, and others know that the Lord is with Joseph. It is obvious to all, even in prison, he is prosperous. God's hand stays upon his life. He may be in an uncomfortable place, but even there, God is with him and still working toward his purpose. Someone today can testify that when you have a purpose of your life, even through the test, God stayed with you and continues to bless you. My wife and I, we recently celebrated 25 years of marriage. And sometime during that week, I just began to take out my phone and I began to write some of the tests we faced over the 25 years. I thought about some of the parenting challenges and crises we faced raising our kids. I thought about how we had a surprise pregnancy and had to walk through that together. I thought about her parents' divorce and the death of my father. And I thought about the moments of losing our grandparents and career issues and trying to pastor and be in the public spotlight and live and raise our kids and all the tension. And I thought about ministry and some betrayals and challenges we've had and financial issues. God has seen us through so many tests over these 25 years. And the truth be told, I believe there are even more tests that lie ahead. Here's what I've learned about God. God stays with you through the tests. That God will see you through them. Even in the moments where I failed or we fail, he even redeems our failures so that we can fail forward. I close by telling you about my grandmother when she was tested. It was in August of 2010. My family had been caring for her. She was 86 years old at the time. She had been battling cancer. She lived alone in San Antonio, Texas. And so Each of us, myself, my mom, and my two brothers, we would take turns going to care for her. They never thought she would make it out of the hospital, but she did. They never thought she would make it out of the ICU, but she did. They never thought she would make it off the respirator, but she did. They never thought she would make it out of the rehab center, but she did. They never thought she would make it off oxygen, but she did. They never thought she would be able to live on her own again, but she did. The Lord saw her, saw us through her test, giving her another 4 good years before calling her home. And I spoke to her during one of our visits before she passed, and I asked her, I said, Grandma, how are you doing? She replied in her raspy voice, I'm thankful because I never would have made it this far without him. He's a good God. Oh, yes, he is. It reminds me of that passage in Psalm 107, verses 1, 2, and 3. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord tell their story. Those he redeemed from the end of the foe. Those he gathered from the lands from east and west. Know this, God will see you through your tests.